Shall we start? So, good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, and all members of our aquarium trade and hobbyists out here. A very warm welcome to you, and thank you for your visit and participation in this exhibition. Let me tell you about our journey of breeding and growing ornamental fish on dry feeds. At the age of 8, I started my hobby growing tadpoles and frogs. In fact, I was quite happy to be called Machiwala in school, and that name still has stuck with me. I used to visit a shop called Fish and Fun aquarium shop, Hussain Bhai in Boivada, where I got my first fish tank. And 30 years back, only live foods were available. Foods like Daphnia, tubifex worms. At that time, the only dry food that was available was Shalimar by Mr. Khatri, a trade secret which he made a lot of money because he was selling the waste of ice cream cones in containers as fish feed. And the other good food which was made at our time was fish stone by Mr. Sane, the late Mr. Sane. He used to buy prawn powder, take palak, vegetables, boil it, dry it, and pack it. I really understood the dependence of live feed when I had my farm in Karjat. We had a farm which had about 1000 tanks and 64 ponds where we used to breed fish. And many a time our infusoria culture would fail, or it would rain very heavily. We can't get Daphnia, and all the babies used to die. At that time, we used to make our own dry fish food powder at the farm, where we used to boil and dry beef liver. One sec, my daughter is calling me. They had an accident on the way. Yes? Yeah, just tell them stall number 60. My presentation is on, darling. Sorry. So we used to dry and boil fresh beef liver, powder it, mix lettuce, carrot, just take the call please, and mix it with wheat atta, other ingredients, steam it, cool it, and feed our fish. 40 years back, Mumbai was the hub of breeding aquarium fish. In fact, Mumbai used to supply the whole of India aquarium fish food. Fish, juvenile fish, and they would do the growing and send it back to Mumbai. If you see any old aquarium magazines, you'll find that international people were saying that they in Mumbai was breeding angels by the bucket load, and they couldn't breed it. At that time, there was an abundance of live feed. Today, Fish Kurla, he used to have a shop in the east, Mr. Kishore Samant. And he would be there selling live worms and live daphnia. And the most important part of our business was a man called the Kidawala. If you don't have a Kidawala, you can't do the aquarium business. So all the people would go to Kishore, buy worms. There would be 2-3 Kidawalas outside, and if his worms are over, they would bring it in a jiffy. With urbanization and the onset of disease associated with the wild supply, today this supply has dwindled. So let me run through you whatever I'm going to be talking about today. I'll give you a little insight into live feed and dry feed, the advantages, the disadvantages, the introduction to manufacturing the dry feed, and the requirements, the process, what goes into making a good quality dry feed, and our Growell R&D center, which is there on the screen, and we'll show you videos of what we actually do. A few testimonials of people who have been using our feed, and lastly we'll have a short question and answer session of 10 minutes. So, live feed. Live feed is any fish food which is given live. It could be Daphnia, it could be tubivex worms, it could be live chironoid larvae, which we call fondly bloodworms. The advantages of live food are, number one, it's free of cost. It's good acceptance by fishes of all size, and fish can overeat and not be affected. This is a very important part of growing fish and keeping fish. The disadvantage of dry feed is that you got to spend money for it. You got to pay for it. Some fish could be picky or choosy if the attractability of the food is low, and fish have to be fed cautiously. Now, the disadvantages of live food versus dry feed. Number one, the availability of live feed is dwindling. People are traveling long distances to collect food, and the time consumed is like crazy. People from Bandra go till Ambernath, till Thana, searching for live food daily on the bike. They don't calculate the money they use to travel on the bike, the time, and the work they can do if they have feed with them. A very important problem in the live feed is the presence of cyclops. You see, when it rains, the pH is very conducive for Daphnia to grow in your ponds, and also the hardness of the water is very low. So you go in the pond, you get a lot of Daphnia. As the water starts evaporating and the hardness from the soil starts going in the water, your Daphnia count becomes low and your cyclops becomes much more. And all the breeders who are catching Daphnia for their fish don't even realize that they died because the cyclops has killed the babies. Also, we have the presence of disease-causing parasites, pathogens. There is abundance in season. It's an irregular supply, and it has to be consumed when it is alive. Nutrition value is good but limited. The advantages of dry food. The availability of dry fruits, not fruits, food, improved and readily available, easily available in all aquarium stores, and the variety is also increasing daily. No cyclops or disease-causing pathogens, a ready, steady supply, a very long shelf life, scientifically produced with proper nutrition value as required by species, and the technology for producing our dry feed and proper nutrition is improving daily. Fish colors can be naturally enhanced with addition of select ingredients, and the protein, fat, fiber and moisture can be designed for each species. So we decided to make a professional fish feed and found the best partner in Growell Feeds. First, we set up a R&D center that you see here for various testing of our feeds that we manufacture. I, my wife and daughter are come. Hi. So we make many feeds, different variants. If you're doing a feed, we make 3 variants. We find out which is best suited for the fish. We give them their marks plus minus, and then we choose what is the best food. Our aim is to make an internationally competitive ornamental fish feed and grow and breed ornamental fish feed using this feed. So what do? We get the juvenile fish, we grow them till they are parents. While we grow them till they are parents, we give them different feeds to see their FCR, their food conversion ratio. So we can give you food conversion ratio of a tiny fish from a tangerine to an angel, and that type of work has never before been done in our trade. So a person sitting in the house knows to grow an angel from what size to what size, what is going to cost him, because he knows the feed cost. So different feed formulations to see the acceptability, the growth rate, and the digestibility of the fish. So where digestibility is concerned, we actually collect the excreta of the fish till it reaches a certain limit, enough for a test. Like if you can imagine collecting 50 grams of poop of your fish, it takes a hell of a long time. So we also have to have a lot of fish, collect it, check the digested fats, the digested protein, and tweak the formula if required. So this is a breeder specific program which is an innovation by itself for our trade. So what we are doing here is that we have made a food where you can feed your baby fish from the day they are born, whether it's angels, whether it's koi, mollies, platies, guppies, anything. I'll show you videos of fish which have been grown on our feed from the day they are born. I'll show you videos of fish which is unheard of in our trade, like Bosmani rainbows, very choosy, very picky, very tiny, who have grown very well on our food. So our breeding program of food is B1, B2, B3, B4. B1 as first food for some species of oviparous fish. Also, if the babies are very tiny, we'll give them 2 days of Artemia, and then we'll go to B1. B2 to B4 regime can be continued as the fish grows up. In fact, it is possible for breeders to rely just from B1 to B4 for any fish. Please refer to our brochure for an analysis of the protein, fat, fiber, moisture of each feed. They are available at our stall. Anybody can come and get it. You want a few samples of our feed, please come, we'll give them to you. So I'll just show you a short video of our facility. So this is our facility which we have built specifically for the purpose of R&D of aquarium ornamental fish. Basically, there are 6 tanks, connected to one filtration system. So each row has 2 sets of 6 tanks with 2 filtration systems, where we do duplicate, triplicate testing of the feeds. I will come to each fish what testing we are doing later on. This is just to run you through our facility, what it looks like. You will see that there are proper aquarium specific lights with RGB lights. You will see that we have a common aeration system with 3 blowers. One is running, second is spare, plus 1 more. So different fish testing. That is why you will see all this. I'll come back to it. I'll elaborate on it further. These goldfish now have finished their tests, so they are just being kept. Oscars also have finished their test. They have been grown from the time they are very tiny, taken from Albert, Amanna. Many fish from there and also from other places. Even we are finished on our test. These are the angels who are left now with us, and the others are in the breeding room. Cichlids. This is where we do the testing of, these are all the babies of different cichlids, and a rainbow, Bosmani rainbow setup. Now the arowanas have grown. When they came to us, they were just 3.5 to 4 inches. It's taken them about 9 months to reach the size you see. We have tests on them. And the white room you see is our quarantine room and also being used as our breeding room. Here you'll see mollies, guppies. So that's it. So 1 minute. We've had some problems downloading and playing because we didn't have certain players and certain connectors. So I want to first show you about the main thing is our kois. This is the other one. One exhibition. So we have one female koi and 2 male kois which we use for our breeding program. And on an average, we'll get, this female is just about 9 inches, but she'll give us about 15,000 to 20,000 babies. Just with this one female and 2 males, it is sufficient for us to do our breeding program. These are the 2 males. That's it. Every 26 days we breed the female. So you imagine the quantity we can get just if you have the proper feed. You can see the babies being hatched. Just free swimming. They are light shy when they are born, so they are hiding around. Many of them there. This is the first feed they are taking once they are able to eat. First day of free swimming, they are taking directly dry feed. There's no infusoria, there's no artemia, there's no sifted daphnia like you normally hear of, nothing. Now a lot of our testing is done on koi. And there's a very special reason why we do our testing on koi. I don't know if you know, the koi and the goldfish don't have a stomach. They have a long intestine which acts like a stomach. So this is very important if you want to do a feed test. If you overfeed dry feed without the sufficient quantity of water to the babies will die. And if they have died because of overeating, when the baby, even though he is just this size, you will notice that the spine is bent. So we do that. We do feed them for our testing. A small batch will be kept aside to see this formula is having 9%, for example, moisture. Just 9% is not enough for the baby. So we'll wet the food for a certain amount of time and feed them and see that everything goes well. This is one spawn. We have two 6 feet tanks. I don't know how clear you can see the video. This is the WhatsApp video, I think. So we have two tanks of 5 feet by 30 inches by 24 inches. And this is the quantity of babies you will find in both the tanks. Now we are also doing a test of growing koi babies in RAS, circulation system. So even though they are so tiny, we are doing it in circulation system. But you have to do constant sorting of the babies. Koi are very carnivorous. Even if there is sufficient food, they will kill each other. And every time you have to go on sorting them. If you don't sort them, one bigger koi will kill 100 per day. So if you got 10,000, you can lose 1,000 if you have 100 big ones. So you have to sort. It's about the same, just to show you again. Because for us, fecundity, that is the amount of eggs a fish will produce only on dry food, is very important. All these babies you see being produced is just on dry feed. There is no live food fed for 2 years. Just on that they are able to produce so much. In our line, no, without live food nothing is possible. You have to depend upon live food. You have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and catch Daphnia. Otherwise you give up the trade. No, we want to change that. We want people to sit in their houses and breed fish. So just a photograph, you can see. You can actually see their stomachs, how much they have eaten. Just another view. There are two tanks, so that's the first tank and this is the second tank. So this is the breeding program and the ideas what we are learning on our B1, B2, B3, B4 from koi. Something different. I'll open R&D center here again. Okay, left side. Okay. So I just want to run with you about this part of the facility. We are doing different tests on different parts of the food for different reasons, for different specimens. So this 6 tanks, this particular batch on the filtration system has got the red-eared sliders. So for red-eared sliders, what is very important is digestible calcium. So we have digestible calcium added in the food, which helps the shell. Also, we do a comparative test between our own feed first. 3 feeds to them, see what they accept, see the FCR, see what is happening. Then we'll do competitive test. So right now we are doing a competitive test. I don't want to say who we are competing with. We are competing with ourselves. Alongside of this you will see the flower-ons. Now these are not very high grade flower-ons which we bought for our testing and sampling. These are, to be frank, just normal flower-ons we have bought from the local market. You may beg to disagree with me when you see the humps, but there is a method of how to grow a fish who is designed to collect fat on the top of his head. So the particular feed which these guys get is high protein, very high fat, and you just see the growth of the hump. So if you look at the fish, you'll see, like, the guy is not, that's our angel babies who are growing. They're not very high genetic grade, not very high body shape, not very great body colors, because whatever you do, you can't get the colors full on the head if the bloodline is not good. For some things you need a good bloodline, but for other things you can get it done. So yes, we can get good body color, we can get a great hump with our flower-on food. So yes, welcome to red parrot. This is the test tube baby of our business. This is not a naturally occurring species. It is basically just two fish mixed in a test tube, and that's how you first got this fish. This is not its natural color, it's just a pale white to whitish yellow if you see a red parrot. This fish is made red because in our business red sells the most. Feng Shui, Chinese, everybody, red is the most selling color. So in this program for these 6 tanks, it is the color, how we color the fish. So astaxanthin is used, and we have introduced chilies because chilies give the red coloration to the fish if you know how to use it. So what do we do here? Right now what you see is a competitor test. 2 are our feed, 2 are another feed, another company, and third is the third company. So this test will go on for 3 months. After 3 months, all the fish will be mixed all over again. So some of the first tank will go in second, third, likewise all the fish will be mixed, and again we start the competitor testing. So we have finished competing amongst ourselves and we have got a formula. Now we are testing it against others, and I must tell you the results that come out are fantastic. So all the conditions for the fish are same, the biological filtration, etc., everything is same, and that's how we give them the same parameters. So this is the stand where we do our angels and severums. I'll come to the angel and show you the breeding of that. So these were the angel babies which we got, and we grew up these angel babies at our facility from scratch. 3 varieties mixed together, 6 tanks, 3 different feeds. Yeah, they are yours only. And they are feeding them fox worms, two tanks bits, and two tanks ornamental fish pellets to see which of the three are giving us the best growth. These are the guys as they are growing, getting their color. These are our red caps. They have never seen sunlight. Usually you can get this type of coloration only if they are kept in sunlight. So it's the same tank, the same system, no additional coloration like the extra red to show them, but this is their actual color. So we have three types of angels. One is the marble angel, the red cap, and the black and white. So now see, this is a different food which they are being tested. This is bits. So we keep on changing the feeds. We keep on checking their body food conversion ratio. I can show you what it actually costs if you buy a feed from us and what it will cost you to grow it in your house, make it a parent and sell it. And these are the marble angels. They are getting fox worms. So yes, now the fish are ready and they are spawning, and this is the patch of eggs. A patch of eggs you are getting without feeding any live feed. If you go to the breeder, he'll say before you feed the angels, you got to give them some mosquito larvae. Then you will get lot of babies or lot of eggs. Otherwise, you will not get anything much. The fertility won't be there. But we will show you how it has changed. The white eggs which you see are not fertile. Maybe the male was not able to pour his milk over the eggs. We really can't say what went wrong during the process, but this is what we would call the fecundity of the fish. Just to show you the eggs against a different. So this is our first batch of golden angels that you just saw in the flower horn tank. This is the first batch, and they have not seen any live food. They are directly come up on our B1. Same golden angels growing up. So why is it so important that we are stressing on so many fish, breeding them, growing them, taking the trouble to do all this? So what we are looking at is that we get a baby fish, we grow it on dry food, we want that fish to breed, we want the genetics to be passed to the next generation, and we want to test their genetics. We want to see if anything is wrong with the food, something is less in the feed, otherwise they will get some sort of deformity. So the entire process is generation to generation, which will continue. All this testing will always continue to see what it is tomorrow after 10 generations. That's the idea. And these are the golden angels, our first batch. Sorry. Now they are grown up, little bigger, so they are eating bigger feed. So the angels that were started on B1 now eating much bigger feed. Okay. These are the arowanas which are with us now. 1 minute. Sorry, it's another stand. Sorry, I opened the wrong file. So arowanas, when you get them as babies like this, you require live food. Everybody will say you require bloodworms. You require baby guppies to feed them. We have brought up our arowanas without them ever seeing what is live food. These are them taking the feed when they are small. And these are the as they're growing, as they have grown up today. Now what I want you to notice, very, very important, when you buy a arowana, you groom it, you keep it, the eye should either be in the center or looking up. Even if you have the most expensive arowana with the eyes looking down, it has zero value. Feng Shui believes if the eyes are upward or flat, straight like this, money is coming in your house. And if it is down, your money is going. Many people feed live feed, so the arowana is looking down, the eyes start drooping, the Feng Shui expert comes and throws the fish in the gutter. So it's very important to have your arowanas without any eye droop. And if you want that, the only way you can do it is by getting it on live feed. Nobody said anything. Never feeding it live feed. Yeah. So you can see nobody is having eye droop out of all of them. So these are the Oscar babies. So various tests on different fish, because different species, different reasons why we are growing the fish. See, the guy's stomach is nice and bulging. Oscars, being carnivorous fish, can eat much more than the other fish. So this is the feed test, feeding them on a daily basis, and you can see how they are jumping for the food. This is mid stage as they are growing, and this is how you will probably see them today. Now these Oscars are without any color enhanced foods. Zero color enhancing for them right now. In the market you will get red Oscars. If I start feeding this fish my red parrot food, they'll become blood red. But right now this is without giving them anything. They have grown with this coloration. So important to the hobbyist, as this fish grows, how the color is going to be, what is going to happen. So he is always looking at that aspect of every fish. Bosmani rainbow, now as you see them, sorry, as they were first, I think, and now this is all these black spots are eggs. The interesting thing about them, it takes a lot of time for them to hatch, and Bosmani rainbows are, a fish which breed daily, a few eggs at a time. I think this in this video here. So these are the Bosmani rainbows as they are growing. Parents are here, and if you look very, very clearly, you will see lots and lots of babies in this top view. I don't know how clear the video is. Yeah. So again, these Bosmani rainbow babies directly on feed. These cichlids are interesting fish for breeding because they are mouth brooders. So we have many varieties of cichlids we are breeding, many. That is to again see the fecundity and how many babies we are getting. These guys have not yet started. They still have some time to grow. So it's still time for them. But the 5 color, the yellow peacock, they are all breeding. So yellow peacock, we are getting like 40 to 60 babies per spawn. They are young, and these guys live in harems. So one male is to many more females. These guys also still have to start. We have to cut down the males in this tank, then they will start spawning. So this is our breeding room, where we have our angel pairs. I'll show you a small video of the albino tiger babies. All the pink food you can see in the stomach is pellet food, well eaten. Round bellies, picking up whatever they can from the bottom still. So these are the red severum babies when they came. tiny guys, and now this is how they look. Again, never seen sunlight to get the color. That's their coloration right now. So let's go to feed acceptance. So just see as the food comes. This is how you want the fish to eat. Wrong file closing every time. Meanwhile, if anybody wants to ask me any questions anyway, everybody is welcome. I just want to show you a few testimonials about a few people. Yeah. This is now fish at different shopkeepers, clients, hobbyists, different people. This is Discus. Then this is shopkeeper from Kakinada. Some people may recognize him. Just randomly go to a shop, give them our samples, test the feed. This is a farmer, Sujit Kumar, who's breeding fighters or bettas. So this is after feeding our koi feed. This is at Koi Junction, Bangalore. You see the white of the fish is a sparkling bright white, because we have given them a very high spirulina content, and that makes the red redder and the white whiter. This is there was a flower on exhibition in Hyderabad, and we distributed a lot of free flower on feeds to everybody, all the participants. And there was one guy, Omar, who we gave this feed, and we didn't know anything about the guy. A wrong phone number was written on the packet. He somehow got to us, because after 1 week of feeding his fish, just 1 week, this is how his fish hump started coming up, color started coming up, and he called us to thank us and of course asked for some more feed. So I think I'm about finished. Many things, some things are not playing. Yeah, that's about it. So if anybody would like to ask me anything, I'm more than happy to tell you anything. Any questions? Tell me. No, we have an entire range of fish for freshwater as well as marine. We have in marine the small marine pellets. We have large size marine pellets, and we have got a special food for marine herbivores, which is having all the natural algae in the feed. So yes, we do have a feed which is very much, you can feed all your marine fish, 3 variants.
Thank you, sir.
In fact, we have a herbivorous feed for freshwater fish.
That's very uncommon.
Yeah. So our herbivorous feed for freshwater fish is a 100% vegetarian feed. It has no animal protein. The protein source is spirulina, and a Jain can even eat the feed. But what is interesting in our herbivorous feed, the expensive fish which people feed, which people keep, the small plecos, they can cost 10,000-20,000 rupees a piece. These plecos usually eat wood. They gnaw at wood and they eat wood. That is, in the natural condition, there is not much food for them to eat, so they have adapted to eating wood. So what they are actually doing is they are eating cellulose. So our herbivorous food has got cellulose in it for these guys.
And I must admit, sir, that pure veg food
Yes.
will be a very good thing in our Indian market, because we know very people are vegetarians, and what happens that all the feed which we are currently do have animal protein.
Yes.
So people to allow these things into their home.
Yes.
So a lot of people can't get into the hobby just of the feed.
Absolutely.
That's a nice initiative from your side. Kudos.
Thank you.
Most welcome, sir.
Anybody else?
You also spoke about the FCR, about different fishes. So can you just brief about that a little bit from the breeder's point of view? And also what will be the cost of the product?
See, this is a pre-launch. We are not opening prices till 15th of January when we will be giving you the foods. I will share with you FCR charts right now afterwards. I'll show you where we are growing the fish. I'll show you the weekly. 1 minute. Let me see if I'll show you right now. It's not converted on this file. 1 second. We had a problem transferring the files onto this. I'll show you on my laptop. Yeah, after this I'll show you. But I can tell you that if you want an approximate costings, if you're a hobbyist in the house, we have a different range of foods for you. If you're a shopkeeper or a breeder, we have a different range for you. And to grow an angel from a juvenile till about a parent size should cost you about 24 to 30 rupees max. That's all it will cost you till it is a parent. You try doing that in your house or on live food, you will get, it won't be that cheap. Also, no diseases. We want, you see, our trade is getting a lot of diseases because we are not believing in biosecurity. If you go to the other industry apart from the aquarium industry, what is the other industry? Is the shrimp industry and the fish food industry. There nowadays everybody is moving towards biosecurity, filtration systems, growing the fish, feeding them without anything from outside. So if you travel abroad and you go to see breeders, let's say for example in Israel, total biosecure systems, 100% biosecurity, nothing coming from outside for generations to generations, nothing. So we want our trade to improve and go the same way like those other countries, where the shortcoming is the availability of the proper feed. So we wish to bridge that gap for the industry. Yes, Albert, most of them are your fish. Sorry? Yeah. So if it's nothing more anybody would like to ask me, I think I'll wind up. Yeah.
That's the question. But
Tell me.
from my end, we are also from conservative aquatics, we are also using the same. I'm from conservative aquatics, Rahul. We are also using your food, so we are getting excellent results. Currently, my entire batches of all whippets for it's been difficult to produce with. So we are working on last 6 to submit the aquatics for breeding whippets. So getting an excellent results from it.
Thank you. So royal whiptails, I'll give you a few tricks to breed them. Royal whiptails at certain time of their life, the parents also require some animal matter in it. You must give them animal matter. The babies also, yes, we consider them as veg, but no, you must give them some quantity of animal matter, especially at a certain stage in their life.
We are trying weekly once.
Yeah. See what happens with most of the fish who are herbivorous. They are not born herbivores. They are carnivorous when they are born. They shift to herbivores after some time. So at that stage in the breeding cycle, you got to provide them some amount of.
Initially, we are putting them dry shade. They are
No,
achieving good size.
yeah, you can.
But we are open for suggestions.
See, I used to breed a lot of whiptails. Was my favorite fish. I never fed brine shrimp in my whole life. Never. We used to make our own feed, make our own mash. Now you can breed them directly on a herbivore food. Does very well. Thank you. Anybody else? Anything you would like to ask me? Whatever it is. Go ahead.
Fish like bumblebee gobies and fluid roaches, which are more choosy,
Yeah.
especially bumblebee gobies. Fish like bumblebee gobies,
Yes.
they normally don't accept anything except live feed.
Yes.
Have you tried any of those sort of fish in your testing?
No. See, bumblebee goby basically is a brackish water fish. So it has different requirements. And it can also be kept in fresh water, yes. But bumblebees can be brought up on dry feed. Now loaches, all the loaches, we are feeding them on our fox worms because they like to burrow and they want something worm-like feed. So you can feed fox worms to them; they'll grow well. Some fish like may never take dry feed, so we will do the testing on them also later stage. We'll try to baddest. They'll die, but they won't eat. So we'll take up that challenge. Definitely. If we can keep baddest alive on dry feed, that will be something great. We will. We want. We'll try a B1 on them. We'll get a batch. Probably they'll eat. Thank you. Because you see, we have been using different attractants for the babies, and believe me, everything doesn't work every time. We have lost entire batches when we change something as an attractant for the babies. And my guys in the hatchery get very upset, sir. We lost these babies. You tried. I said, no, that's our process. If we are able to save them after even 3 mistakes, after that, at least the trade can save it for the rest of their life. That's the idea. Special thanks to you, yeah, for the computer, because we had a problem that the HDMI cable was not available. We were able to download and do something. Thanks to you. So then I'll close with my vote of thanks to everybody. And I'd like to thank Mr. Narendra from Grovel Feeds. He's not here right now. But we've been able to do this because he's been able to take the plunge with us. Also like to thank my wife, because nothing is possible without her. She is running the business in Bombay when I am traveling around the country all the time holding the fort. Forced to do more work than she's supposed to do all the time. Yeah. Thanks, Noella. Okay, thank you, everybody.